Hi, I'm Anne-Marie from Soap Queen TV. Thanks so much for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about using colorants and herbs in melt and pour soap. I'll even share a couple of my tips and tricks for how to make your soaps really pop with color. There's a few options for using colorants in your soap. First of all, we have oxides and ultramarines. Oxides and ultramarines are considered an all-natural colorant. They're what commonly are used to color your lipsticks, mineral makeups, and eyeshadows. They're relatively inexpensive, and you notice they create more of a dull color in your soap. They're very stable, but they're oil-based, and your melt and pour is water-based. So they do require a little bit of extra tender loving care to get into your melt and pour soap. A second colorant option for melt and pour soap are micas. Mica is a flat platelet that is actually mined from the earth. It comes out of the earth really dull, but then, just like a diamond, it's shined and cut so that it reflects and refracts color. So when you use a mica, you actually get something that is a really wonderful shimmer. Do you see that shimmer and shine? That's what's commonly used to make eyeshadow as well. Micas can be coated with either oxides or FD&C, food, drug, and cosmetic colors. This means that they may be all natural or sometimes they're not. So if you're wanting 100% natural colorant, stick with oxides. But if you want shimmer and shine and color pop, try some micas too. Another colorant option is lab colors. Lab colors are FD&C colors, and like food colors, they are not considered natural. And by the way, you can use food colors in your soap too. Lab colors come in about 140 variety of colors though, so there's a lot of options for you. They're water soluble. And a couple tips for working with lab colors. Do you see this bar of soap? I love it. It's one of my favorite bars of soap that I've made recently, except, whoops, do you see this, this, and this? Those spots are because I did not dilute my lab colors when they came to me. Lab colors come very concentrated and they actually need to be diluted in water. So let me show you how to dilute them. It's simple. 10 milliliters of lab color into 8 ounces of water. Then you stir that up. That's it, you're done. Store this in the refrigerator and it'll last for at least a year. Lab colors also are water soluble. What this means for you is that it may bleed. Do you see how pretty this, well, it once was? It's still nice, but do you see this color fade and this color migration? Anytime you use a lab color or a food color, you will get this. So the key to making sure that your colors stay crisp is to use a non-bleeding liquid. What's a non-bleeding liquid? Well, a non-bleeding liquid is an oxide or ultramarine that's been dissolved and mixed into a glycerin for you for ease of use. But I'm going to show you how you can use oxides, which are non-bleeding, in your melt and pour soap. We're going to use oxides in this batch of soap. The first thing we're going to do is melt my soap base in the microwave, and I'm going to do clear and white for you. While that's melting, here's my tip to using oxides in melt and pour soap. Take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, put it in your container, a few scoops of oxide, mix that up. You've made this oxide so it will actually mix into your melt and pour soap. Wasn't that easy? Once your melt and pour is done melting, go ahead and add your fragrance. I'm using lavender because I also want to show you how to use herbs in your melt and pour soap. Usage rate for fragrances and essential oils is 0.25 ounces per pound of soap. So about a 1/4 ounce in here, mix that up. Now, let's try some of that oxide in there. See how nicely that colors? And in the white soap, you get a really nice pastel, but it's not quite as bright as the clear. And here we have herbs. Look at these beautiful lavender herbs. Aren't they gorgeous? So toss some of our lavender in, we stir it. You pour your soap. You know what? These lavender herbs we just did, This is what they look like after just a few days. They're a lovely green, not so much purple. After about a week, this is what they look like. They're brown. The key to remember is that anything that was alive eventually turns brown in your soap. I hope you learned a little bit about colorants today. Join me next week when we take everything you just learned about colorants and turn it into a swirling, whirling loaf extravaganza. I'm going to teach you how to make a wonderful swirled loaf of melt and pour soap. Thanks for joining me. Happy soaping.